All right, today we are diving into a mental model that is getting a ton of buzz, and for good reason. It's simple, but wow, is it a game changer for your stress levels and your sense of freedom? It's called the let them theory, and we're going to break it all down.
So let me ask you, does this sound familiar? That feeling of being totally overwhelmed, just trying to manage, well, everything. Your partner's mood, your coworkers' questionable choices, what your friend thinks of you. It is exhausting, right? And if you're nodding along, you are definitely not alone.
In fact, get this, a staggering 70% of us are caught in this exact trap. We spend so much of our precious energy policing other people. And it makes sense. Our brains are wired to want control and predictability. But trying to control other people, that is a recipe for chronic stress.
But what if you could just stop? What if there was a way to break that cycle for good? Well, there is. And that brings us to the core of this whole thing, the Let Them framework. It's a beautifully simple, two-part solution designed to give you your peace back.
So what is it really? The let them theory is basically a tool that helps you stop the madness. It's not about giving up or being passive. It's about giving up the fight you were never ever going to win in the first place. The fight to control what other people do, think, and feel.
And here's how it works. It's a two-step dance. The first part is let them. This is about emotionally detaching. You let them be late. You let them misunderstand you. You let them have their opinion, even if it drives you crazy. You just stop fighting their reality. Then, and this is the crucial part, you immediately pivot to the second step, let me. This is where you take your power back. You ask yourself, okay, given that this is who they are, what can I do now? See that shift? You go from being a victim of their behavior to being the author of your own response.
Okay, so that sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do this when you're in the moment, right? Let's get super practical. We're going to look at 3 powerful strategies you can start using literally today.
So, your new toolkit for peace has 3 key items: the ROI of attention, the ABC loop, and the 90-second rule. Each one is designed to help you let go of the chaos and grab onto what you can actually control.
First up, the ROI of attention. ROI as in return on investment. Think about your attention, your focus, as your most valuable currency. Every minute you spend obsessing over why someone isn't texting you back, or why your boss is being difficult, that's capital you're spending on their drama. When you let them, you reclaim all that mental energy, and you get to reinvest it where it actually matters, in your own goals, your own happiness, your own life.
Next, for those really tricky conversations, you've got the ABC loop. This is a total game changer. Here's how it works. A, you acknowledge that their behavior, from their point of view, probably makes sense to them. You don't have to agree with it, just acknowledge it. B, you break the cycle. Just refuse to get sucked into the same old argument. And C, you choose your response and set a clear boundary. Like, I'm going to let you be upset about this, but I'm going to let me step away until we can talk calmly. It's clean, it's respectful, and it stops drama in its tracks. And this next one is so cool because it's backed by neuroscience. It's the 90-second rule. So when something happens and you feel that hot flash of anger or that sting of rejection, the actual chemical rush that creates that emotion in your body, it only lasts for about 90 seconds. If you can just ride it out, don't react, don't fuel it with stories, just breathe and observe it. That emotional wave will peak and then pass all on its own. It's fighting the feeling that keeps it alive.
So let's put this theory into a real-world scenario. One that I think a lot of us have gone through. And honestly, it can be really painful. We're talking about adult friendships.
You know what I'm talking about, the great scattering. When friends you used to be inseparable from just start to drift away. The old way of thinking is to chase them, to try and fix it, to force that connection. And that usually just leads to more frustration and heartache. The let them approach is different. You let them drift. Yeah, it hurts. But you also let yourself see the truth of the situation. And then you pivot to, let me invest my time and energy into the people who are showing up, the people who want to be here. It's not about rejection, it's about redirection.
Okay, we absolutely have to talk about this next part because it's so important. This is a powerful tool, but it's really easy to misunderstand. So let's be crystal clear about what let them is not.
So the biggest fear people have is that this means you just become a doormat, that you let people walk all over you. But that's not it at all. Look at the reality. You let them be who they are, and then you let me walk away. The power is in your choice. It's not about giving up on people. It's about getting clarity on who they really are so you can choose wisely who gets your time and energy.
And now for the most critical point in this whole explainer. I need you to hear this loud and clear. The let them theory does not, under any circumstances, apply to situations involving physical danger, abuse, or any kind of illegal activity. In those situations, you do not let them. You immediately and without hesitation pivot to let me take action to get myself safe. Your safety is always, always the number one priority. Full stop.
So when you start using this framework, when you really start living it, something incredible happens. You go through this profound shift. You stop trying to be the editor of everybody else's life story.
And that brings us to the ultimate takeaway. This is it right here. Your peace is not something you demand from other people. It's not a negotiation. It's a boundary you set for yourself. It's a decision you make about what you will and will not allow into your world. You and only you are the gatekeeper of your own peace.
So as we wrap this up, the theory really leaves us with one last, really powerful question. Once you stop pouring all of that energy, all of that focus into trying to control other people, you suddenly have all this time, all this freedom, all this power back in your hands. So the only question left to answer is, who will you finally let me become?